Yellow, 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 yellow. It is Tuga Tuesdays night. Oh my God, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that we have everything and everyone here tonight because this is going to be a massive episode. You know that. You know that because the Rui Borges era is rolling, baby. It's rolling. The Sporting Club is back at the top of their abilities. Again, I got a screenshot about a message from Rui Borges, of course, right? I watched the Tata game. I was so happy because I was talking to Mauricio that usually I don't get to watch those Tata games because they're broadcast somewhere underground. I don't know where, but we got the Direct TV and we got the games and we got the game tomorrow too. There's payback time for the Eagles tomorrow. We're gonna talk about, of course, the Clásico, right? The Clásico here. Mike is ready to fight. He's about to.
I'm defeated. I'm defeated.
Costa, man. He's ready to fight Rui Costa. I'm telling you. If he sees Rui Costa,
I think Mikey's had enough.
You know, I'm telling you, brother. I would be scared. I would be scared if I'm Rui Costa if I cross the street with Mike in front of me, man. I'm telling you. Hey, guys,
that's like me and Fernandez.
You know what's on the back of this? You know what's on the back of that? There's a reason it's turned around.
Oh, it's Rui Costa.
It's Rui Costa on the other side. There's a reason it's turned around.
Wow, man. Unbelievable. There you go, Ms. Mike D'Agostino, Mr. BENFICA, Mr. Mauricio Ruano, everyone here tonight. And welcome to this episode because I'm so ready to roll. I am so ready to roll. And of course, we're going to hit, please, with the number one team in the nation that just got the spot in the finals of the TASA. And Mr. Gomez, how you feeling? You smiling tonight? I mean, that feels time, man.
Yeah, anytime you beat one of the rivals, anytime you beat one of the rivals, it's always a good night. It was a tight game. I don't think there were many opportunities. Sporting got the best opportunity and they took it. That's essentially what the game boiled down to. I think it was very tactical. The game really never opened up. I think Sporting did a good job of staying tight, staying cohesive, and they saw out the victory. But it still doesn't whitewash what happened last Friday. We can't ignore that. We can't ignore that. That was not good. So. But yeah, this is a big win. We're playing the finals on Saturday. And it'd be a chance at a title, and I think that'd be very big for Rui Borges if he could get a title.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, yes. Mr. BENFICA, Mikey is one of the. I think this is one of the first times. I think it was the first time that I saw. Usually we comment throughout the games, right? Mm-hmm. Mike sends me messages, and I read them out loud, and I felt you were depressed, brother. Give me a 30 seconds.
I didn't want.
Hi, brother.
I mean, absolutely nothing was learned from the week before. That's why I was so angry. Nothing was learned again. We'll come out again, just like against Sporting, and hand the other team the first half. Completely sit back. He made changes that all he did was change like for like. It didn't change anything about the way Benfica approached the match. Didn't change anything about their look. Leandro for Tino, that's fine, but they still played in the same stale formation, and then Bruno Lage is showing an inability to adapt to anything and to play anything other than this system, and it's always with one striker by himself up there. What was the point of switching Pavlidis for Amdouni when you're just going to continue to play with one striker up there? No matter who's that one striker, they're not getting good service. We had 572 crosses, 571 of them poor. But it was a very bad performance, and the second half wasn't all that much better. It just there was effort. That was the only difference. The execution was not good. The marking was pitiful on those two goals. And how does Benfica allow, with all due respect, Sporting Braga to get a Fran Navarro when Benfica needs goals, needs a striker to score, and this guy has proven himself in this league. How does Benfica allow that move to be made? How are they not getting in the middle of it, upping the ante, and getting that move done? Because of arrogance. That's why Benfica didn't get a player like Fran Navarro, because Benfica believes they're above players that are in the Portuguese league or that come from the Portuguese league. They want to go abroad. They want to resell.
Right.
And this model is killing the team right
on
now.
a Brazilian that cannot run. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sporting's done that in the past so many times.
Yeah.
There's so much quality within this league.
Yes, there is.
That
Yes.
it gets overlooked. I mean,
Yeah.
I was watching Manchester United versus Liverpool. How many guys out there
Came out of this
played
league,
in the
exactly.
Portuguese league?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot.
A
A
lot.
lot.
You
A
forget
lot.
all the non-Portuguese guys that have come through this league
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
moved
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Like like
That's
Darwin
it.
Nunez,
That's
and
it.
Yeah.
Lucho Diaz, and you got
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, and you got Diogo Dalot. And we could just go on and on. I mean,
Yeah.
We can go on and on.
there's a lot of quality in this league that gets overlooked. I've been saying that for 30 years. It's
Yeah.
just-
100%.
yeah. We go out and spend all this
talking
money.
about overlook, guys. Talking about overlook, I bet you this, right? That you didn't watch the Estoril versus Estrela Amadora game. That was a fantastic match, man. Mauricio, you watched it?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Mauricio saw it.
Listen, I was probably the only one that watched it. I told you that last week. I'd be the only one that would watch that game.
Man, you guys missed 6 goals. 6 goals.
Listen, and Estoril almost blew it.
I know.
I almost gave up watching this sport for good on so
I felt like that before.
Well,
many
Mauricio,
times.
give us your thought. Give us your thought about that game. It was fantastic, man.
It was a fantastic game. Like, I thought Estoril came out. Both of us had Estoril winning that game when we did our picks and everything. And they were showing it that they're a pretty good team. But then, for some reason, Estrela Amadora just got hungry. I don't know what the speech was at halftime. Maybe the coach said, listen, I don't want to go relegated. Maybe you guys do, but I don't. And they just kicked it into gear. And it was a good match to see. Estoril, I like their midfield. They have a good midfield. They've always had a good one, even last year. When they had Fernandes over there
Right.
when he was over there, on loan and everything.
Georgie Holsgrove?
Yeah, Holsgrove is a great
he's good.
player. They have another guy. What his name with a Z? I think it's Zaccardi or Zancardi.
Chica.
Yes, he's a good player as well. So Estoril has quality players, but it was a great game. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you got Rafiki Tani back. As after guys, back, it wasn't. They didn't know how to use him, I guess. And now he's back in Estoril. I'm telling you, we're off the Estoril. I'm not saying that they're gonna fight for the title or anything like that, but it's gonna be an exciting thing to watch. All right, on the second half of the season that just ended. Right, I mean, the first half just ended.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting again now, all over again. And if you're gonna make a summary of the first half of the season, Mr. Gomez, what's your outcome for your team?
I think that, and I did post this. I think that the second half of the season is a great unknown. I think a myriad of things can happen. I do think that all three of the teams have vulnerabilities.
Yes.
And I just don't think it's going to be like the last few seasons where, teams are going to end with 87, 88, and last season 90 points. I don't see that happening. I just don't. So, and that's how I feel about Sporting. I think that that the game with Guimarães, showed me a lot. It's a giant red flag. And I'll quote Rui Borges when he said, if you want to be a championship team, you can't give up a 3-1 lead in the second half to anybody. And that's not just Guimarães. If you're up 3-1 against Benfica, if you're up 3-1 against Porto in the second half, you got to win those games. And they allowed Guimarães to score, I think it was 3 goals in a half hour. That is and the way that second half transpired, when there was so much the team was so hey Dave, There was when sport it was so passive. It was so slow. The buildup was so slow. The passing, the ball movement. We were playing lateral. We were not getting vertical. We just invited Guimarães into the game. And it was just, it was an eye-opening sort of red flag experience that may be sort of a, foreshadowing for the rest of the season, where you're going to have these performances against Benfica, and especially today. I think this is probably the most complete game was today against Porto. But you also have the threat, the risk of having another Guimarães kind of game. So that's why I think that the second half, I'm just looking at the second half with, I don't have a clue about what's going to happen. I don't have a single clue.
It's gonna be.
That game,
we're gonna go down to the small details.
You think that game Borges screwed up by not refreshing the team when he should have, because they looked exhausted.
Right. We're gonna go into that. We're gonna go into that.
We'll get into that. Yeah, that's a valid point.
We're gonna make the summary first. Mike, is 17 tests that your team took. And if you're gonna come up with a rating of your team of these first 17 rounds, what would you say is your score?
2 collapses. No, 2 collapses at the beginning and at the end of the first lap. So the first, I think it's first 4 rounds we dropped 5 points. Second 4 rounds we dropped 6 points. And you can't. That's not even counting the point dropped in Vila dos Aves. You're not a serious contender when you're dropping points like that. There's no. The only reason Benfica's even still in this is because the other 2 teams also had their collapse at this point. Because in a normal season, this thing's gone, and we're fighting for 3rd place in a normal season. No. We're still fighting for 3rd place, but that is the best you can hope for when you drop this many points in the first half of the season. Was that 38 points at the halfway point? When you double that's a really poor showing for Benfica. And there's no excuses. This team was poorly built. We've said that, but the individual talent should be enough to do better than this. I know I got mad at the manager. I got mad at the president, but at the end of the day, there's enough individual talent in this roster to be doing better than this. Okay, this team should be at least 4 more points than they have at the very least. They've dropped points needlessly, and it's just
the last 2 opportunities that they had to crank the top.
Right, exactly. And this past week Braga played well. Braga was resting Roger Fernandez. They were resting João Moutinho. They were resting Ricardo Salazar. And you still lost. Friend of ours making his first game. He had how many training sessions did he even have with that team?
He's a striker. Don't talk.
Our strikers need a year our strikers need a year before they start scoring goals. How come he scores on his first appearance?
Last week how Braga seems to rise to these occasions. And they've been so inconsistent. No. They've looked poor at times, but for some reason, the 3 games against the 3 bigs, they did rise to the occasion. In all 3 games.
Right.
Nino, didn't you get the score right?
I got a question for you. All right. Of course, after 17 rounds that they're gone, do you think that Santa Clara will derail at one point in the season, or they're gonna fight till the end for that number 5, number 4 spot in the nation?
They're going off the rails, baby.
I think they'll fall off a little bit, but they'll be still there to contest. But I think when you got a team like even a Gazabia who's starting to get some traction, who's starting to play some good soccer, they got a good goalie in Segeda who's actually playing really good ball back there. And then you got Guimarães. And listen, Derek he's super pumped on that coach. So is Mike. And
Guimarães is gonna surprise.
That number 5 battle is gonna be a good one, because you got teams like Moreirense, Famalicão, Gazabia, and that doesn't even include the Guimarães still going after Santa Clara. So they might tail off a little bit. I think they're gonna get.
Don't forget Braga.
I don't think Braga is safe at 4.
No, I was gonna say they got a word to say about Fourth.
I agree with you guys. I don't think Braga is safe at 4-2 because Braga right now is tied with Santa Clara and Guimarães is
31 points.
6 points off.
And I think that Braga and Vitória are more likely to keep the core of their team together through this January transfer window.
Yeah.
This window can be detrimental. Santa Clara could get derailed in the transfer window.
Yes,
and of course of course Mikey's messaging, WhatsApping, sending a box of chocolates to Fabrizio Romano to make.
I told you he blocked me.
Man, stop
take the chocolates away.
Nino, did you get the score right in the Braga game? Did you pick 2-1?
I didn't you say 2-2? I think you said it was a tie.
No, 2-2.
I think he had 2-2.
But I said that freaking Fran Navarro was going to score. I was so happy, man. I was so happy. You got no idea. Because and this is my Nino Damas prediction for the second half of the season. I think out of these 17 games, listen, I'm going crazy with this because I love this guy. I think he's gonna go double digits, man. In 17 games.
That's a bold
call.
He's gonna reach 10. He's gonna reach 10 goals. Yeah. You know how furious that guy is. His heart right now is on fire. That's all I can tell you, man. When you get a player like
that's what Braga was missing a goal scorer.
Yeah.
They were missing a guy who was putting away goals. You know, they lost Banza, who was the guy here. So, and I don't think they really found a guy in the first half of the season. To take up that the goal load. But Navarro is hungry, so this could shape up to be a very interesting second half for him.
All right, guys. Now I'm gonna read a quote from Rui Borges.
Let me answer Dave's question.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mikey.
On the day there is a functioning midfield duo, but it hasn't been functioning. This is the same. I mean, this midfield three. Okay, Auschwitz, Florentino, and Kokshu functioned very well against Atletico Madrid. And now it's not functioning against Estoril, and it's not functioning obviously not against Sporting and Tino didn't even play this weekend, so you can't blame him. But it's hard to tell what the best course of action for that midfield is because everyone's confidence is so low right now, and their weaknesses are being exploited by opponents. Okay, and the problem is playing out of the back is not Benfica's strength. Okay, they like to win the ball in high areas, and teams Braga did well to sit back, put 5 in the back, and force Benfica to play out of the midfield and build. And this was a game where Tino should have played because he wasn't going to be under the pressure he was under by Ullman and by Sporting's midfield that caused them all those problems. He could have solidified the middle of the pitch there, and it would have allowed Auschwitz and it would have allowed Kokshu to go further forward. We had Kokshu playing in the number 6 this weekend. Kokshu was dropping between the center backs because somebody had a bright idea that that's the only way we're going to get that ball going forward. When he needs to be up closer to the attack.
Yeah, he needs to be closer to Artukoğlu.
Exactly. But instead, Artukoğlu is being forced into this number 10 role. He's not been good at. He's not been good at. And he's playing up next to the forward. And then everybody's running out of their position, trying to overcompensate everywhere. And the team they're so disconnected. There's holes everywhere. It looks like they have not trained in 2 weeks. It looks like they went away on an international break and all came back and just started playing again. I think Lage needs to get back to basics. For some reason, we're asking the 8 to play the 6. We got Leandro Barreto playing right back at the end of the game for whatever reason. And it's just he doesn't know what to do, so he's trying anything and trying to see if something sticks. They just got to get back to the basics. I think they got to go into a more simple 4-3-3, which I'm not the only one saying this. Everyone is saying this, but this is not in Bruno Lage's wheelhouse, so I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's being there's something about football managers. They are very stubborn, but he is literally being Roger Schmidt. Everything Roger Schmidt did wrong, he's repeating right now.
It's Bruno Schmidt. I
remember someone said that. Right now, that's true.
It's crazy, guys. Right, I'll talk about my managers, right? Because he's gone. Derek's having issues. Let me see if he gets back, because also I read something about Laji today, man. He was bad. He was really bad, man. You know, Rafael
press conference
from a foreign player, from Rafael. He played.
I read that too. Yeah.
From Porto.
Right. So we're going to talk about that in a second, right? Because I want to hit the question first to Mr. Gomez when he comes back eventually, maybe. Where's he go? Let me see at the stage. Is he back? No, I'm back. No, yes, no, maybe no. Well, he's coming, because we want to wait on that. Sergio Conceição, Milan. Sergio Conceição,
It's fun to root for that guy. I have to admit, it is fun to root for him.
Very nice win. Very nice win.
Yeah. That was, man, I am so happy because I'm a Rossonero. I love AC Milan, and when I see Milan doing great things, I'm happy about it. It's the first cup, the first Super Cup was since 2011, man. Since 2011. This is we talk about the Manchester United, going to this transition for a few years, and AC Milan has been in transition for fucking 10 years, man.
Yes.
They
in the wrong direction.
I know. It's just like switching coaches, not getting the right players, not promoting the decent talent, and just many things that they've been wrong with AC Milan. But that doesn't take away that they are an elite team, because of their history, right? Not an elite team now, but they are elite. Mr. Gomez looks like he's
back.
Right,
I'm back. Yeah.
Back. What you doing, man? It's just, what are we doing, huh? You got candles going on? You got nices running your courts or something? Anyway.
Technical difficulties, man. I don't know what's going on.
It's all right.
It's single temperatures here, Nino. Nothing's working.
Nino,
we
got hit with winter storms, Nino.
I know, and you're freaking in the way up there, right? So how now? You got minus? You got negative now, or not?
In Celsius,
I think
it's negative.
That, the wind chill is 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, but Fahrenheit. What you are now? 5, 10.
With the wind chill, it's about 5. Like
about 5 right now. Yeah.
About 10 without it. Yeah.
So well into the negative Celsius.
Yeah.
That reminds me, brother. I lived in Columbus, Ohio for 14 years. So I know about the winter. I know about winter, brother. Winter is coming. It's coming. All right. Louis Borges said, I look at them and they give me confidence. Sometimes there's no point in shouting because you don't hear anything. We feel confident that they will improve a lot. You see, confidence. All right. It's an ambitious team with a huge soul. That's what I asked for, that they had thirst to compete. Mr. Gomez, let me ask you, after you heard this from your coach, you still think that Guimarães got the best deal out of this thing?
I still do. Yes. Yeah. From what I see.
Back at this time, brother, because this is telling me that you got a heck of a deal with Borges. I'm telling you.
We'll see how it plays out. I could be wrong. But just looking at the body of work, I think that let's just look at it objectively.
Right.
This wasn't this long ago. You're talking last April, last May, right? Yeah. Ruben took that flight to West Ham. The speculation that he wanted to leave, and obviously he did want to leave. So what does Braga go ahead and do? Braga goes ahead and hires Daniel Sousa. Why? Because there was a fear that Sporting was going to get him. Because he was the hot commodity. He was the hot commodity less than a year ago.
Yes, of course.
Braga didn't go and get Rui Borges. Braga went and got Daniel Sousa because he was the man. He was the it man. Obviously, Braga did not fire him over results. He only had 1 league game. He had 4 games total. It was 2 wins, 2 draws. So it wasn't over results. I think there was a personality clash. From what I heard, Salvador wants to have more of an interventive role, where Daniel Sousa is like, no, you hired me to coach this team, and I want total authority over the day-to-day operations of the team. And I think that there was a clash there, and that's what led to his ultimate firing. So it wasn't because he did a poor job at Braga.
2 games. 2 games, clash of personalities in 2 games. You really? You
It
think
was
that-
something. Obviously, it was something that was building up through the
Yeah.
preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it just as it went on, and then with Salvador, and then reneged and waited for an opportunity to fire him, and there was that tie, and then he used that as a way to fire him. Because, I mean, to fire a guy over 4 games, it didn't make any sense there. What Daniel Sousa has shown to me is that he can take a team, and again, remember, he didn't start with Aroca. He took it, I think 5-6 games in. So it wasn't his team. He didn't have a preseason with them, but he was able to forge an identity. He was able to forge a team that was creative, that found creative ways to score goals. And that's the tough to do. It's to produce great football. And I think you need to, one of Benfica, Sporting, or Porto needs a coach that can produce this kind of creative, inventive football to break down teams. Because what you're doing is when you play, these mid-table teams, their approach is going to be, I want to get a tie out of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay tight. I'm going to stay cohesive. I'm also going to play my heart out because I want to get noticed. So in order to break these team downs and to win on a consistent basis, you need to play high-level quality football, finding ways to break teams down. He's demonstrated that. Rui Borges, for all, I mean, again, there was solid work at Moreirense, and there was solid work at Guimarães. But I mean, these teams were not really lighting the football world on fire, and I think that's why, Braga was attracted to him over, attracted to Daniel Sousa over Rui Borges.
Right.
I think that the great football is always wins out. And I know Mike will say, Mike's been talking about it too, how he has not been impressed with, some of the games that Benfica have played. And, I've been watching this game for as long as I have, the 30 something years, the results will always catch up to the football. If you're not playing football, if you're getting these 1-0 games, these 2-0 games, eventually it will catch up to you. You're not going to win every game 1-0. You're not going to win every game 2-1.
Yeah.
You're going to drop points. So you need to play high quality football in order to win on a consistent basis.
I can talk to Mourinho about it.
Yeah, that's what that's what we were doing with Ruben. We were playing high level, high intensity, quality football, scoring a lot of goals and winning every game. And I don't see us doing that with Rui Borges. That's my take on it, guys. You can disagree with me.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this. It might not be as spectacular as it was with Ruben, but as long as it's effective, I'm okay with it. Mr. Ruan, what do you think about this first the 10 days on the job for Rui Borges? You think definitely there's a transition in the style. There's a 4 in the back now. I look at a lot of solidity, protecting the pocket for Sporting. Of course, except that game against Guimarães, it was kind of wild. Yeah, it was wild second half, first wild second half. But anyway, what do you think about the first 10 days of Rui Borges, Mauricio?
No, he's done what he's pretty much we all thought he was going to do. He was going to tighten up in the back. He's already done more than what João Pereira did. I've said this already before. You need to at least get a clean sheet once in a while. He's already gotten 2 against 2 rivals. And João Pereira couldn't even get 1 against Santa Clara or against, twice. So he's done a good job just getting and the defense. Now Diomande and St. Just, there's no rotation there. They're getting familiar with each other. He's tightened them up. He's gotten more out of Humelin. Humelin's not running around all crazy and everything. He's back to playing midfield the way we all believed he should have been playing. So he's come in and he's pretty much done everything. I think he just needs more offensively. There's a little bit of lacking there that we're used to seeing with Ruben that hasn't been producing. But he got a lot even from today. I think Fresneda was probably the best game he's ever played with a Sporting shirt today. What he did today was it was a huge game by him. Huge game over there at right back.
He fits better in a 4-4-2 than he did in a 3-4-3.
Yes.
Yeah,
so it's more conducive to his skill set. So I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that Guimarães game, I kind of fault him a little bit. That's why I'm not so much just so happy with what he's doing, because that Guimarães game, by like the 70th minute, you could see the tables were turning. Like, he needed to freshen up the team, and he was stubborn. He's like, I'm going to stay with these guys. I'm going to stick with them. But you could see Quaresma was running out of gas. Humelin was running out of gas. And you could see the wheels coming off because Guimarães, that second half, was just the possession was all on that end.
It was an energy thing.
Yeah. And I feel like that game, that 3-1, once it got 3-2, I was like, that's a warning shot. You need to freshen up the team. That's a warning shot. And he didn't, and he paid for it. But hopefully, as he gets more familiar with the guys, I think once Bot and Bragança come back to this team and they can play that number 10 role, and you can go Guinda and Trincão on the sides with Gyökeres up top, I think that will change a lot because that's the playmaker. Bot is that playmaker you need right there, and he'll open up those windows for Trincão and Guinda to feed that Viking up top.
My God, man! Once Pochi comes back, it's gonna be a different story. I'm telling you that. Once Pochi comes back, he
that's what I'm hoping for.
But it's gonna take time for him to get his game
shape
and everything.
You know what's the injury for Pochi? What's the injury?
It was muscular. I think it was hamstring.
It was a hamstring.
Yeah, it's muscular, and those soft tissue injuries are tough.
You got to be careful.
It was
with
the
that.
second time, right? It was like after like 2
This is the second time, but
you gotta nurse that. You gotta make sure it's 100% back.
Yeah, it's prolonged out.
100%. Mikey Davis, who's Dave talking about?
I think he's talking about Daniel Souza.
Oh,
we were talking about how he got sacked so quickly. I believe that's what he's referring to there.
Yeah,
he's a Braga fan, so he would know.
He's a Braga fan.
Yeah, Mikey, we were talking about what Rafael said about Bruno Lage. He's the worst coach that I ever had.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Brasileiro has a lot of bad coaches. First of all,
you're right about that.
So, it's a lot of times players, when it doesn't go your way and you're not, and you believe you're good enough to play, and you're not, you're gonna think it's the worst coach in the world. That said, Bruno Lage's record at Botafogo was bad, and he's heading in that direction right now. This is where I'm concerned because it's happened with Benfica his first stint. It started with an understandable loss and then an inability to respond in the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game. It happened at Wolves. It happened at Botafogo, and it could be happening again. And this is where I'm concerned about where this team is going. But I don't think any coach is too worried about players making comments like that. Even Mourinho has heard comments like that about players he just didn't get on with. But I would say in the Brasileiro, I think it's safe to say there's been worse coaches than Bruno.
Yeah. Unreal. Derek, today's match, man, I watched it in second half. I posted this because that's the biggest issue now for Porto. Their lack of creativity in that midfield. Even when they do have creative players like Sadio, you got Fabio Vieira, you got this kid Rodrigo Mora. I gotta tell you this, man. He's gonna be a star, man. He's gonna be a star. That kid is technically good. He doesn't care one bit who's playing against him. That play in the 20th minute, one move.
Yeah, that move is
he just 5 players out of the picture, man. That was insane. But gotta tell you this, Derek. The way, Porto was trying, but they were not having the weapons ready. Things were not clicking.
Yeah.
But still, Sporting stood there compact. The way that they're defending on this game, I think is going to be one of the strengths of this team for the second half of the season. Their defense.
I hope so. I hope so. Inacio was already on the bench today, so he's coming back. So I wonder how that's going to fit in. I don't think you can have like Inacio on the bench. He's an international. No. He's been a stalwart for that team.
He's the best center back in the nation.
So I think San Just is the odd man out. That's what makes sense to me. I mean, Sanjus would probably be one of the first guys off the bench. Same thing. Looks like we're very close to getting the right back from Guimarães. From what I've been reading. So that would make sense. I think if you're playing the 4-4-2, you need a true right back. You can't just have these wing backs. You can't have
Right.
What's
they
his
want a
name?
true right back.
Costa?
Alberto.
Yeah, Costa.
Yeah.
Alberto Costa, right?
Yeah,
Alberto Costa?
Yeah.
There's been talk about that. So I do think that that if we get him, he'd be the starting right back. I don't.
But they were also talking about Tommy Handel.
So
There's been that's a rumor.
He's a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other two are a little bit more concrete. The right back, and we're looking at a goalie too.
Yeah.
Which after Franco's adventures in Guimarães, it might be merited. Yeah.
Mauricio and I know just the guy to play goalie.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
You're trashing your goalie for that game, really? You're so dramatic, man.
Two goals, Nino, on him. 2 goals.
How many? I mean, you forgot about already the last season? You forgot last season already? Who got you the last
I didn't forget about the Boavista game either.
Guys got a light memory, huh?
That's 2 shaky games in a month.
We have a motto here. It's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
It happens. Mikey, what do you think about these guys, man? Are they delusional? Are they Anatoly Trubin?
Mauricio and I were talking about Luis Malagon is the guy. You go to get him from Liga MX. He's Mexico's national team goalkeeper. He
25.
is top level goalkeeper. They'd be all set. But
yeah,
that's the thing. I think Benfica and Porto have top level keepers.
Yeah,
we don't.
I think Trubin has become. He's gotten back to that. He had a down slope, but he's back to his normal form now. And obviously, Diogo Costa is Diogo Costa.
Nino, there's a stud in Farias. There's a stud over there.
Yeah, he's also.
In my opinion, I think that Kovacevic wouldn't start for more than half the teams in the Primera Liga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And here he is on our bench.
Amazing. You're talking about Richie Bello, right? Richie Bello? What is Ricardo Bello?
Yeah, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Ricardo Bello, man.
They're looking at the keeper from Betis, though. That's who they're looking at.
Yeah.
Rui Silva.
That looks like it's almost done.
Yeah, so they're looking at that. But yeah, I mean, I do think that's a need. I think you need someone to compete with Franco. Kovacevic, I don't even. The next time I see him in the Sporting net will be too soon. That's all I got to say.
Nino, you don't think Franco could have gotten that 4th goal from Guimarães when the ball's in the air inside the 6?
In his box?
That's a goalie's
his
ball?
Box. I mean, he was frozen. It was a deer in headlights.
He happened to.
He happened to on the same page.
I'm not gonna trash my goalie for one game. That's what I'm gonna do. One bad game. Every goalie can
We can't forget the Boavista game either.
Boavista game. Yeah.
Oh my God! These guys. Are you guys goalies?
You're just in a good mood.
That's a tough position. That's
it.
That's a tough position. You
need somebody that you have 100% confidence in all the time. Yeah.
If you're in the Champions League,
let's do this. That's why they got what's this guy's Kovacevic, right? So why Kovacevic is on the bench and why Kovacevic is on the bench? It was the one that they bought to be the number 1 goalie.
Yeah, but they quickly realized there was some buyer's remorse. That's what ended up happening. Yeah. He played a few games and they looked at each other and like, what the hell are we doing here? Like,
the guy earned his spot. I'm going to say this: the Franco earned his spot as a starter.
Oh yeah, I mean, hands down, Franco's better than Kovacevic, but that's not saying much.
But you're saying that he is not an elite goalie for a team like Sport.
No, that's my personal
challenge for a title.
No, he's not the caliber, the kind of caliber that you need.
No. I mean, I do think he's a good backup. I think this is a guy that could step in cup games. I think when spot starts, absolutely. But I don't think he's a true number 1. That's just from what I've seen.
Of course, if you tell me, I got Richie Bello coming in, you want it? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a heartbeat.
I'll sign in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Talking about heartbeats, Mikey. See, are they going to loan for Lightshore? You know if they're going to loan him? I think he.
I don't know.
wants
I don't
out.
know what the issue. I mean,
They
it's
need to do
obviously
something.
something
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but not knowing it, I'm sure his agent's going to want to push for a loan.
Yeah.
Imagine being an Argentine kid. Okay, Di Maria has to be one of his idols, and right now Di Maria is blocking him from furthering his own career. It's got to be one of the weirdest feelings, because here he is sitting behind a 36-year-old who could play less. We all admit it. He could play less. He doesn't need to play this many minutes. And I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I know Prestiani put out an Instagram post and was quickly moved from the bench to the stand. So there's definitely some personality clashes going on behind the scene.
Let the kids go, man. Let the kids go, man. They need to play.
Mikey, wouldn't the other kid want to leave too? Schlupp?
Sheldrup, the rumor is he wants to leave. He wants to play. He can go on loan again. But I mean, this is the problem. This is why it's Schmidt all over again. He's found his 11, and now it's those 11 every time. There's no surprises.
Right.
And tomorrow there'll probably be no surprise. It'll either be all surprises. He's going to play a whole second string, or he's going to have. Well, but here's the thing. I don't even know if winning tomorrow is a good thing, because I think Porto got the best. They're off until January 15th now. They lost today. They don't have to play this weekend. They're off until January 15th when they make up their match with Nacional. Benfica wins tomorrow. They got to play Saturday. They got to play Tuesday at Fares, and then play Friday at home against Famalicão, and then Tuesday against Barcelona.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
So
that's ugly.
It wouldn't shock me to see a weakened team tomorrow, although the team's in such a fragile state, you can't really do that either. He kind of backed into a corner right now. I mean, I think Rolheiser probably plays tomorrow because of that. I mean, Di Maria needs to be rested somewhere. So maybe he gets some minutes tomorrow. I don't know. He last time he played was against Estrela Amadora in the Cup, whatever last round was, round of 16. And he played 80 minutes and he was fantastic. And then he went back to this, and something happened on the training pitch. It has to be. Something behind the scenes is going on, because there's no logical explanation for burying these two players, especially that in the preseason were so good. And, you know, I know Roger left, but under Roger, they played a lot.
Yes.
And now they've gone from playing less to less to less to not even on the bench in Prestiani's case.
Nothing. So, now you were defending the last time around. You were defending Pavlidis as he was not getting the right balls, the right deliveries. But there's no. I mean, I can't.
He's got no partner. He's got no partner. He's clearly not a striker to play by himself with three central defenders marking him. That clearly doesn't work. Everybody in the world except Brutalized is calling for Amdouni to come into the starting lineup and to play with two in the front and to see if that works. What do you have to lose at this point? This isn't working. So, I mean, switching one for whether it's him, whether it's Amdouni or it's Cabral, you have the same problem. Whoever that one guy is not getting the job done. And I know Cabral got the goal, but that came out of nowhere. That came off. Came off Paredo winning the ball high and finding him, and he happened to put it on. It wasn't any type of design.
Collaboration.
Right. There was no collaboration. There was no build-up. He didn't make any kind of run. It wasn't a plan that was put in place that resulted.
Exactly. There was no. He came out of nowhere. Hey,
right.
Just grab a cup of coffee in the air and just
Right. Exactly. So Bruno Lage really has to figure out what he wants to do in that attack, because this isn't it. Playing with one lone striker and, relying on Di Maria. This is the reality is Di Maria has made the past 11 games now look better than they were, 9 wins in 11 or 8 wins in 11 games, whatever the streak we were on there for a while. A lot of that was Di Maria finding a way to either deliver a goal by delivering a good service or by scoring it himself. And that's just not going to do it week after week against good competition. He's 36 years old. They're able to reduce his productivity. Plus, he's forced to go into spaces to try to find the ball, and he's always by himself. Again, there's no connection. There's no the positioning is off. There's never people in support that can really combine with them and put the ball in dangerous areas. Very, very few balls get delivered into a dangerous area. I think the worst part of Benfica's game has been in the final third. It's been very, very poor in the final third. And it's shown with, very few goals scored in the last, 260 minutes, whatever, the last 4 games, and 270 minutes. Something has to change, and it's not just changing player A for player B. That's not going to fix the problem.
At all. Now,
no, it's
Mr.
just going to
Ruano,
continue the same problem.
Mr. Ruano, Ricardo Horta, the king of Braga, finally, it seems like finally he's taking off. He got a slow start of the season. I'm going to say the entire first half, he was not the king of Braga anymore. But slowly, he's getting his throne back, and now he has a sniper on top that they can feed and they can trust, and that's Fenerbahce. That's the way to think about this Braga for the second half.
Well, first, let me answer Dave's question. I think Ferenc owns Vedu because Benfica tried to get him this summer, and they didn't let him go, and they extended his contract. So I don't think Braga still owns him. I could be wrong, but I think Ferenc has him because they extended his contract this year for like 4 more years or something like that. For value. Yeah. But that Fran Navarro going to Braga, your boy, is massive, like you would say. Massive. Because now all that pressure on Horta and Salazar isn't as big as it was to create and to get those goals because they were getting nothing out of the striker position. Them losing Banza, who got 20-something goals last year, was a huge loss for them, loaning him out to Turkey. So getting Navarro and he just brings more. As soon as he got that goal, not getting it. Yeah, once he got that goal, you could see the confidence just building on the team. Like, oh, we finally got a guy on his first touch right in the box. Boom, goal. That's what they needed. And I hope you would hope this will, bring more out of them. But I'm not a big guy on their coach. I'm just not sold on their coach. That Carvajal, he's a one-trick pony. He lasts like 1 year with a team, and he's with someone else the next year.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's the right
nomadic.
guy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And like Davey's even saying, Banza,
Ruiz.
Jalo
was a high quality
players. That's a big.
Not so much Abel Ruiz. Abel Ruiz
he started to tail off at the end there, but
he started.
Jalo was
So Navarro going there, if he can bring that magic that he had with Gil Vicente to Braga, they need that. Hold on, because it's going to be a fight like we just talked about for that 4th spot. Nothing is given. And if they want to even try to compete for it, they need Navarro and Horta to just keep getting better and better. Hopefully they can get something on there.
Derek, Gio Kenda, last 3 assists in a row, all to Victor Gyökeres. This is the partnership that you were waiting on, or what's the partnership that you waited on?
It was funny because at the gala awards when Gyökeres received Football of the Year, he mentioned he's just like, I would score even more goals if Kenda would pass me the ball.
There you go.
So I think Gio was listening to him. No, I mean, it's right now. It's Kenda was playing as a right wing back under Ruben, pretty consistently.
Yes.
So now in this 4-4-2 scheme, he's now on the left side of the midfield. So it really is sort of like a new position for him. Different place on the pitch. It might help him because he's not going to be as liable defensively because now he does have a left back behind him. That might help him. Explode a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's shown tremendous promise in the preseason. Under Ruben, he was really excelling. For his age, what is he? I think he's 18. So yeah, if this continues, he's taking. Yeah, he is. Yeah, we gotta trust the process. Yeah, he told me to trust the process. Look how that worked out.
Tactical analysis.
Tactical analysis. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Gio. He's going to have to become a little bit more accustomed, to playing out on the left side. But it's very promising. He's so young. There's such a margin of progression with him. He can really flower into just a top flight player. But you know what happened if you're that young and you're showing that much quality, it's sort of like Nuno Mendes. You don't really last too long. At Sporting. So that's one thing to be concerned about. These big teams go after the young players, is they can get so many years out of them. So, we'll see. I mean, he still needs to evolve. He still needs to progress. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out if he continues to, build on his solid first half. I'm optimistic about him.
He's optimistic. All right, I
About
like that.
Gio,
Coming from Mr. Gomez.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. Look at you, man. Look at you.
Yeah.
Mikey, when are we gonna see that stretch of games from Benfica winning with Actocoglu on the board, with those 3-4 games that they had? Was it like a couple months ago, maybe 3, I think.
It was when he arrived.
Right when he arrived, right?
I think he's been figured out.
When are we gonna see that Benfica again? Huh?
What if we already saw it? What if that's it?
Possibility.
Listen, there's a reason this guy was still at Galatasaray. Okay, we got carried away. He arrived and he scored and he assisted. But there's a reason he was still at Galatasaray. If he was that player that was going to come in game after game after game producing, he wouldn't have come to Benfica. We wouldn't have been able to afford him. He would have already been moved on somewhere else. He was still at Galatasaray. Right. So you take the good with the bad. He reminds me a lot of Rafa in that when he's good, he's really good. And when he's not, he's not. And you just got to ride the wave when it's good and hope that there's more good than bad. But he does. I don't know what he has to do to get taken out of the 11. I mean, it seems like he I mean,
and I think that he would make a good super sub.
It could.
Him coming in with the energy that he brings the last half hour of a game, I really do think that.
But you got the Argentine boy sitting on the bench, not playing. He cannot be a sub because the other players are not playing.
Yeah, I mean, the messaging from the club is the same, no matter who the coach is. Okay, so they're not speaking from their own minds. They're not speaking their own words when they talk because they sound the same. The only difference between what Bruno Lage is saying, what Roger Schmidt said, was that Schmidt said it in English. That's the only difference. Okay, it's the same thing. The reason he said top team, Bruno Lage is saying the same thing, just he's saying it in his first language, so it doesn't sound as ridiculous. But he's saying that Benfica entered well in this game. They entered well at Alvalade. What? Like,
yeah.
You know, the message seems to be coming from somebody else, and I mean, there's certain players that don't come off. I'm running out of. I don't have any more explanations other than that. That was the agreement that no matter how bad somebody plays, they're going to play all the time. Probably has to do with the price tag that was spent on bringing them in, and feeling like that you can't justify benching somebody that you spent more than 20 million on. Kokshu plays all the time, whether he plays well or doesn't play well. Di Maria is Di Maria, but he at least produces. We've seen it in the past. Players that always play.
This player that they're not. He's not being as influential as he was in the past couple of seasons with Benfica. That's Ragnar, man. That's Auschwitz. I feel like he's not. I'm not gonna say he's lost, but he's never lost. He's a man who played 7 positions.
He's a facilitator, so he needs other guys to do something when he facilitates for them. Otherwise, he looks average. I mean, what he does well, he puts other guys in positions to do things, and he moves the ball well. He's not a player that breaks lines. He doesn't run at players and beat them on the dribble. He just makes the right decision 90% of the time, makes a well-executed pass. But when that pass arrives and the next player loses it, and now they're countering, and he's spending most of his energy chasing because we're getting caught in transition, that, you know, it makes him look like a much more average player than it does when things are going well.
Unreal, man. Unreal. Mr. Maruano, I got a question for you, right? So because I got this. Of course, everybody's comparing the two kids, I want to say the two best young players in the competition. There are Gio Kenda and Rodrigo Mora. Which one do you think he has more potential?
Oh, that's different positions.
Yeah, different
Man,
positions.
you spot that, man. I'm sorry.
I know. Why you got to put that on me? Listen, I'm really high on Kenda, but what Mora has been showing, his touch and technical ability for just his size is just very impressive. Very impressive. He's got like that Maradona size where like you don't think that little guy can do it.
Yeah,
he could do a whole lot.
Oh, but Maradona was stocky boy. He was a stocky guy, man.
Yeah,
but I mean, Mora looks like he's 14.
Yes,
I know.
Yes. Yeah, he looks like he should be.
I mean,
like
I see
for,
kids
like,
his size
candy
on my
or something.
son's team. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he should be in the stands asking for cotton candy, not on the field. But Ganda, what he has done, and just look at the vision he had today to slide that ball in to Yorkeres for that goal. His quality with the ball and just his speed when he's dribbling is just very impressive.
Yeah.
Whether on the wing or coming in, it's just if he can build on that body that he has and Mora just get some more muscle, the sky's the limit for both of them. It really is.
Yeah.
He is more built. He's bigger.
Yeah, Ken is more physically impressive.
Right?
Yeah.
But I love
it. Nuno Mendes was a physical guy too.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, so it's sort of in that mold, they sort of remind me of one another.
Right.
Yeah,
and Derek's right. These kids at this age in our league, they really don't last that long. They really don't.
Oh, boy.
No, you show your cards at 17.
Yeah, exactly.
The Sharks are coming.
You can only hide them for so long.
And right away, this guy, if he plays, if he starts almost every game from the second half of the season, boom, 100 million price tag. 100 million price tag.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Right away, because of the age, because of all the potential, right? I would put 100 million release clause on that kid right away, man.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody thinks Yorkeres. Ruben wants Yorkeres. In my heart, I think Ruben wants Ganda. He doesn't want I think he wants Ganda.
We'll see how this thing plays.
That's a major upgrade on Diogo Dalot, by the way. I can't stand Diogo Dalot. He is so. He belongs on like Everton or.
well, listen. Speaking of Mora, I had to get this off my chest because I've been thinking about it all week. Please convince me that I'm wrong. That's not a red card on the kid in that first 3 minutes of that Nacional game.
It was a red.
I think so. Yeah.
That's a red.
It was a red.
That's a red.
How that goes to VAR and they don't. Because that's given as a red almost every time when it goes to VAR.
Someone asked me, and I said, if the Nacional guy does that to Mora, he gets a red
without hesitation.
Without hesitation.
And one, kidding me?
Without
VAR and without VAR,
but that's never going to change.
No. That was the red card right there. Porto game.
I don't think. I mean, we watch Portuguese soccer every week, so we see see questionable refereeing all the time. But I think this is like sort of a problem that afflicts a lot of these smaller countries that have that. For instance, like I'm sure like Holland has to go through the same thing where it's like you have a tiny country and 90% are going to support either Ajax, PSV, or Feyenoord. Yeah. So I think they run into the same issues. I know in Turkey it's a big issue. They're like notorious for questionable refereeing. When you have 3 big teams.
Yeah,
basically all the fans support 3 big teams.
I imagine Greece is the same thing.
I mean, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, and Ike. Yeah. So I think it's not. People want to make it sound like it's only Portugal, but I think this is a problem that you see.
No, it's this tier of leagues. I think
these
you're right.
Smaller countries where 90% of the population supports 3 teams. Yeah. You're not going to see it in England because you do have diehard Everton fans.
Yeah.
You have diehard Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have diehard Fidesz fans here
No,
in
very
large
few.
number. You don't have diehard Riyadh fans.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
So I mean, and 100% of the referees are soccer fans,
Yeah, and they have a team.
and they have a team.
And they have a
it's either
team.
going to be
And they have a
90%
team.
of the time it's either Benfica, Porto, or Sporting.
And it doesn't take much of an
And
internet
even
search
if
to find
it's
pictures
not
of them
intentional, it could be
at games.
subconsciously. They could be doing it subconsciously. You
Yeah.
know?
Pictures
Yeah.
of them in the pool of Pinto Costa. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, Roy Borges' method, the tactical analysis is that Mora needs to grow bigger. He'll have trouble in modern football. Kenda has the physical tools.
He's got time to do that.
You
Yeah,
can
he's got
always
time. Yeah, time to do that.
You can grow.
He's gonna grow.
17. He's gonna grow.
Yeah, he's going to grow.
I mean,
Yeah, he's got time.
And because I mean, those big teams do look at the physical part of the game. They look at the physique.
He's got all the tools there to do that.
Because
yeah,
I mean,
you're gonna eat steak.
I mean,
in the morning, afternoon, and
I need an
night.
explanation.
All
I
day.
need an explanation for Porto. I mean, Porto was only 24 his first year with Sporting. As a midfielder, he scored 23 goals.
Right.
He didn't go, and I do think a lot of that was they're looking at him physically, and they're like his game wouldn't translate in England.
And he was already 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. You know, he's a 5'7", 5'8" guy, and I think
I don't know. Enzo's not big. Enzo's not big either, but he's stronger, right? Enzo's stronger.
Yeah, I would say Enzo's strong.
Enzo's a little bit.
But you got this kid, the Paraguayan, Miguel Almiron for Newcastle. You know, he's 5'6", 165. That's the other Paraguayan kid too. What's his name? I forgot his name.
No, there are exceptions. There are exceptions to every rule, but I think
they're filled in.
Yeah.
Usually those players fill
generally
in a little bit more.
they want a dude that's 6 feet. They want a 6'1" guy who's 180 pounds.
Unless you're
ideally,
spectacular
that's
on
what
the
they
ball.
want.
Yeah.
They want a 6-footer. You know, it just is what
There's
it's
a
not.
last question of the night that goes for Mikey. Mikey,
Ready?
expectations for tomorrow?
None.
It's gonna be a playback time.
No.
Yes.
Set the bar low.
Honestly, it's a lose-lose. Win, go to the final. You got an extra game. The real Taça is next week against Farense, the Taça de Portugal, the one that this is a money grab that the league invented.
It is.
And this is for Pedro Proença to parade out all his friends and his corporate partners. Half of the fan groups boycott these matches. This is a little bit of a, but the state Benfica's in right now, they need to turn it around. So, you know, that the next game that you got to take it and you got to play it to win it and then see what happens from there. But I mean, we'll see what team Braga rolls out tomorrow, and maybe the ball will roll in Benfica's favor, but it's going to be difficult. Plus straight to penalties, I believe, if it's tied. So, you know, it could be a lottery. I've seen Benfica lose on penalties almost every time they've gone to penalties. So, I don't know.
No expectations. Low expectations.
I don't have any expectations. No,
I got expectations on my boyfriend Navarro. That's what I had.
We won 7 of the first 8 or 7 of the first 9 League Cups, and we haven't won one since. So
Nino's gonna blow up our phones tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mike, you got the game. So let's go to the predictions, brother.
Okay. Are we going to include Nacional Porto on Wednesday, or do we already picked that? Right?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe
All right, so
maybe
I'm
not.
sticking with my 2-0.
I want to go for the Fog. Fog 1.
Yeah, Fog. Take the Fog.
I want to take the Fog.
Friday, January 17th is the next game. So it's Benfica Famalicão. Yeah.
No, Benfica at home, right?
At home.
At home, but what good was home last week?
I know.
Might be a riot.
You're gonna face your guy here, so
if you don't win that, then
the championship.
The white flags.
Come on, I'm gonna say 2-1.
Without having anything to go on with this next game, I'm gonna 2-2. They're gonna drop more points. The Bruno Lage kid's gonna continue. I don't have confidence in him right now. Maybe he'll change my mind tomorrow. But
man,
if he makes tactical adjustments and not just personnel adjustments, I may change my mind. But if it's just changing player A for player B and playing the same way, then the Famalicão is a good team. They've already beaten Benfica. They can easily go into the luge and get a point. Yeah. So
last
They
last
took-
to run
they-
the
they
last
last
took a
season
point
as well.
from-
Right.
They
Right.
took a point
Yeah.
from Porto too.
Yes, they did.
One of the only teams to do it. Yeah.
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 Yeah, watch out with Fama. Watch out with Fama. Mr. Gomez, what do you got on that one?
I'm going to go 2-0 Benfica.
2-0 Benfica. Mauricio?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Benfica.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. What's next, Mikey?
All right. Santa Clara, Estoril, Saturday
Okay.
In the island, I'd take
in
Santa
the
Clara.
island.
I'd take Santa Clara. 2-1. 2-1. I want to say 3-1. 3-1 Santa Clara. Mikey?
I'll say 2-1 Santa Clara.
Derek?
I'm going to go 1-1. They're coming off a home game against Firenze where they played with 10 men. Firenze played with 10 men for the second half and they still couldn't win. So I think this is going to be another draw.
Okay. Ruano?
I'm gonna go with a draw 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Okay. Mikey?
Rio Ave, Sporting. In Vila do Conde.
Damn. That
I hate playing there.
1-0.
Everyone
1-0
does.
Sporting. 1-0 Sporting.
I hate playing there.
It's that
Okay.
construction in the background.
There's
Been going on for years.
I think they're milking it.
They really are.
What you got, Derek? Derek, give me a score, brother.
1-1.
1-1. Ruano?
I'm actually gonna go 2-0 Spartan.
2-0 Sporting. Mikey?
3-1 Sporting, all 3 goals with the wind at their back. Gorkarez with all 3.
The wind at their back.
It's January.
And then
January,
Rio
so
Ave
it's
will
gonna
get
be
theirs
ugly.
when they go the other way.
Like,
Yeah.
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 That win, man. That win is. I hate it. I hate it when you play in those stadiums. When you, I hate it.
Vitoria Aroca.
Vitoria.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
2-0.
roll.
2-0.
I say 2-0 also.
I'll go 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, this still
Mauricio?
I like the 2-0 as well for Gimenez.
Okay.
All right.
for all Vitória.
Sunday, Moreirense, Farense.
It'll be tough.
Oh.
Moreira dos Cónegos.
Moreirense. I'll go with Moreirense on this. I'll go Moreirense, but just 1-0. Just 1-0 or 40 from distance. There you go. Derek?
I agree with you, Nino. 1-0.
Ruano?
I'm gonna go 1-1.
Go on, Mikey?
I'm gonna say 2-0 Moreirense because Farense is playing Benfica midweek. They're not used to playing 2 matches in a week,
That's true. That's a good point.
and
Yeah.
Nice catch.
they'll be a little more tired. Moreirense will take care of business. 2-0.
What's next, Mikey?
Nacional AVS
Oh, this one's huge.
Ew, that's not
in
good.
in Madeira.
In the fog.
If they play,
In the
if they can play,
It's an earlier. It's a 3:30 kickoff though. 3:30 in the
good.
afternoon, so there's plenty of
They
time to
might
get
get
the
it
game.
in.
Listen, during the telecast, Nino was trying to get the game played in Maritimo. He's like, why are you
He's
saying
not the only
Maritimo
one. A lot of
Stadium?
people are saying that they should have that as their backup stadium because
Yeah.
it's the specific location of that stadium that's the issue.
Exactly.
It goes straight up from the ocean, and
oh my God! Why you got the other stadium? But yeah, whatever. Okay, I want to say Nacional. I want to say Nacional on this one. 1-0 Nacional.
I'll say the same 1-0 Nacional.
I'm gonna go 0-0.
0-0. All right,
That's gonna be a stinker. Yeah.
Mr. Ruano.
Seeing a lot of 1-1s this weekend. I'll say 1-1.
Another one.
Be another one.
All right, Mikey. That's it. Oh.
No, we got 2 more.
No,
we got 3 more.
shit. All right, let's go.
Okay, Estrela hosting Braga.
Okay.
Braga.
Yeah,
Braga.
Braga's on a
Braga.
run.
2-0. Yeah, and Navarro's gonna score again. On that. Again.
I'll say 3-0
Right.
to Braga.
2 goals for Navarro in that game. Remember, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'll go 2-1 Braga.
2-1 Braga.
I
Okay.
think.
all right.
Yeah, front of will get 1.
What's it, Mikey? You got
3-0. 3-0 Braga.
3-0 Braga. What's the next one, Mike?
Gil Vicente hosting Porto. This one's a little
Okay.
more intriguing.
Crap.
All right.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Mikey, is that you? Is that Barcelos?
Yeah, Barcelos.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Barcelos, you know, when it's in Barcelos, I go for my boys. I want to say 2-1 Gil Vicente, brother. 2-1 Gil Vicente.
Oh, I hope you're right.
Me too.
I love that.
Mikey?
I don't see Porto slipping up there. This is what they do. They just keep finding ways to win. 2-1 Porto.
2-1 Porto. And Danny Saldana said Gil Vicente draw, but Danny, you got to give us a score. 1-1, 0-0, 2-2. What do you say? Derek, what you got?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Porto. It'll be tough, but they'll win.
Late.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Mora set it up for Viserion. Mauricio.
I'm actually going to think it's a tight game. I'm going to say 1-0 Porto.
1-0 Porto.
It's gonna be tight.
And Danny Saldana says 1-1. All right, we got you, Danny. We got you.
I thought they were gonna.
1-1.
I thought Udinese was gonna do good against them, and then Porto went there and won 3-0. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
yeah.
And
Whenever
then-
you think it's gonna be a close game, it doesn't end up being close.
The one
Right.
I'm sure everybody's dying for. Monday night, Boavista Casa Pia.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the Black Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Panthers, man.
The one's great club.
I think
The one's
I think Nino's
great,
been
yes.
praying for them.
The one's
Yes.
Nino-
Sad story.
Yeah. That was
been praying for them
one
every
place
week.
you never wanted to go.
Nope.
I
No.
hated going up there.
Yeah.
Always
To
tough.
the Boavista.
Yeah.
Always tough. In the 90s, you did not want to go there.
They stole
No.
the title that year. They managed
They
to
won the
get it.
title one year in the 99, but
I
they
know.
never wanted to
They
go
were
there.
second another year. It's
And they played aggressive. Like they were rough when you went
Yeah.
there.
2001. No, they were tough.
They were
Yeah.
tough.
They had some
Yeah.
ballers. Those guys were tough, man.
Tough. Yeah.
Look at the guy that Roy Borges says,
Trust the process.
He told me to trust the process with Jerome Pereira. This guy, he has no
This
more
was the
credibility.
process.
His credibility is out the
The
window.
process.
Big guy, man.
He's resilient with the trust the process.
Oh my! So, Mike, was that the last game? That was the last game, right?
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
last game.
Oh, but I didn't get the thing for Boavista. Jeez, I
None
forgot.
of us did.
They lost the last game, so they're gonna win. They're gonna 1-1 Boavista. 1-1 Boavista, and then what are they playing?
They
Casa
play
Pia.
Casa Pia. I'm gonna say
Casa
Casa
Pia.
Pia wins 2-1.
I want to say Casapia wins 2-1.
I'm gonna go Casapia 3-1.
Everybody against the Panthers, man. What's going on, man?
Panthers ain't got nothing.
Oh,
They're like the
they
Black
They need to
Cats.
go down and rebuild
They are
them.
a lousy team.
They're more the Black Cats.
They need to be relegated badly, man. They need to be relegated for good.
But when I was
they're
out in
both
Portugal,
good.
I got my kid the Boavista kit because that's freaking.
It's
That's
a great
an icon-
kit.
that's
It's a
an
nice
iconic
shirt,
kit.
yeah.
It's such a
Yes.
great kit.
It's
It
an
is.
iconic kit. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
So, but to be serious, Boavista has been in trouble. What the last 3, 4? I think maybe 4, right? 4 seasons in a row. That
I
they're
think
just-
they've been in trouble the last 20 years.
Listen, Nino, they're in dead last right now. They're not getting out of there.
Yeah.
They only came back to the first division through the courts. They didn't play.
yeah,
there.
that's the only way they got
Yeah.
in. They played their way in.
And
Right,
they
right.
fought relegation ever since. So
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my God.
I
Oh my
remember.
God.
I mean, it seemed like yesterday they were in the semifinals of the UEFA Cup
yeah,
when they lost. They lost to Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been
Unreal.
could have been Porto Boavista in the final. They were just one game away.
they had Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank before anybody knew who he was.
Camp Mayoress had Jimmy Floyd.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great call.
That's a great story.
Oh,
That's like one of the
man.
great
Mike,
soccer
you're dropping
stories.
a bomb right there, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, but hey, that's where
I think he
Joel
went
came
to
from.
I
Where
think he
Joel
went to
came
Nuno
from.
Gomes.
right?
Yeah, they had the youth. They had the youth academy. They would just
Erwin Sanchez.
Erwin Sanchez.
Big
then they got
ball,
team
man.
off.
Big ball,
They got
that's
team
it.
off from
Yeah.
Porto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ended up being great for them.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
such a great
remember
team.
his
And then,
story,
and then
man.
yeah,
Ricardo. They had Ricardo first.
yeah, and then Mertelinho would always score like
Martelinho,
big
yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
right?
We're reminiscent of the 2001.
Like I remember he beat Sporting in
goal.
the 85th minute.
Yeah. They can't. He's right. They
Yeah.
can't.
He's
And
right.
they can sign win the 3. Ooh.
Dave's
Yeah,
Okay,
they-
they're done. Yeah, they're done.
they're
I want
done.
to change my
It's
score.
probably better for them
2-1
to rebuild in the second division.
Estrella,
Yeah.
whoever that was. Oh my God, guys! Thank you so much for this Tuga Tuesdays edition. It was as massive as planned as I was expecting to be. So we're gonna see you next week. My boy here, Danny Saldaña, says,
But we have no games this week.
I know, shit. Oh,
I know.
what's up with that? Come on, man. All right,
We got the cup this
2
week.
weeks. We're gonna have a week off. Then.
2 weeks.
We're
2
gonna have
weeks.
a week off.
2
2
weeks.
weeks.
All right, week
All
off.
right,
week
guys.
off.
All right.
All right,
See you
guys.
guys.
We'll be back on the 21st. See you. Take
All right,
care.
guys. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.